Hello everyone. Cambridge IGCSE, paper 2 extended, February-March 2020. Let's start. Question number 1. From the list, write down a number that is a multiple of 3. 12 is a multiple of 3. A cube number, 8. A prime number, 5. An irrational number, square root of 7. The number of people swimming in a pool is recorded each day for 12 days. Complete the stem and leaf diagram. We have 24, 24, 45, 28, 8 here, 21, 13. Already 1 is written, just write 3. 48, 38, 36, 15, 18, 26, and 38. We're at 38 here. After that, put these numbers in order. 3, 5, 8 is already in order. Arrange these set of values. You have 1, 4, 6, 8, and then 6, 8, 8, and 58. You can delete this part, no need now. Okay, you have the data now, arrange it in ascending order. Key 1-3 represent 13 swimmers. Find the median number of swimmers. You have already n is equal to 12 values here. N equals 12 for 12 swimmers. The median, the Q2 order is 12 plus 1 over 2. 13 over 2 equals 6.5. 6 and 0.5 or fifth value. It means the value between 6 and 7s. If you count with me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This value and this value, the median lies between 26 and 28. The middle number is 27, so the median is 27. Okay, question 3. Point A has a coordinate 6 and 4. Point B has a coordinate 2 and 7. Write AB vector as a column vector. The AB vector simply is OB vector, position vector of the point B, minus OA vector. The OB vector simply is the vector of the point B. The point B is this one. 2 and 7, just write it as a column vector, minus the other point A as a 6 and 4, only subtract. So 2 minus 6 is -4, and 7 minus 4 equals 3. That's it. Find the interior angle of a regular polygon with 24 sides. The measure of the interior angle theta of an n-sided polygon is n minus 2 times 180 gives you the total sum of interior angles, divided by n gives you each angle. In the case of this question, you have n 24, so 24 minus 2 is 22 times 180 divided by 24. You can use a calculator to solve this one. The answer will be 165 degrees. This is the measure of the interior angle of the 24-sided polygon, 165 degrees. Work out using, without using a calculator, work out. In dividing fraction, just keep the first fraction, 15 over 28. Flip divide to be multiply, and the flip 4 over 7 to be 7 over 4. Before multiplying, try to simplify, divide by 7, 1, divide by 7, 4, and now multiply up together and down together. 15 times 1 is 15, 4 times 4 is 16. Thank you, that's it. You have to leave your answer in the simplest form, 15 over 16. Question number 6. The table shows the marks scored by 40 students in a test. Calculate the mean mark. The mean here, x bar value, is the summation of xf divided by summation of f. This is the mean or the average for frequency table for non-group data. It means you multiply each mark by its frequency, plus 6 times 5, plus 7 times 11, and so on until the last one, 10 times 4. Okay, this all divided by the number of students, which is 40. By using calculator, do this one, you will get 7.2. So the mean mark of this distribution is 7.2. You will find always the mean lies in the middle of the table, not in the beginning, not in the end. You have a right triangle now. What the area of the triangle? The area of the triangle, as you know, is half base times height. Half times the base times height. So it's a half times 10.8 times 8.5. By using a calculator, you can find the value. Okay. The answer you have it is 45.9 square centimeter. Calculate the perimeter. You find the hypotenuse first by applying Pythagorean theorem. The hypotenuse h is square root of 8.5 squared plus 10.8 squared. Answer is 13.7. And after that, you can find the perimeter by adding the all possible given sides. The perimeter now is 8.5 plus 10.8 plus the hypotenuse 13.7. If you add these values, you will get 33 centimeter as the perimeter of this triangle. Calculate the value. You have the sum of two numbers written in standard form. I'd like to show you, you can, by only click on the calculator, you can do it, but I want to show you how to do it yourself without calculator. Go to the number that has a lower power. This number is lower power, -4 smaller than -3. Go to this number and just multiply it by 10 here and divide by 10 here. When you do this, the first number is still the same, 2.3 times 10 to the -3 plus the other number become 0.68 times 10 to the power of -3. Now the power of -3, this part is the same now. 10 power -3, 10 power -3. You just take it as a common factor and just add these two numbers, 2.3 plus 0.68, you will get 8, and the 3 plus 6 is 9, 2 plus 0 is 2, and this is the answer, 2.98. And you, by this method, you will get the answer already in standard form. Factorize, you can take 3x a common factor. This is the highest common factor ever can be taken from these two terms, 3x squared and 12xy. 3x squared divided by 3x is x, minus and 12xy divided by 3x is 4y. Very simple, yes? So the answer is 3x into x minus 4y. When you use a rule of distribution or distribution rule to expand m minus 3 into m plus 2, you just start with m multiplying by the terms of the other expression. Just write m squared plus 2m. After finishing that, you can start also multiplying -3 also by the m and 2 also again, minus 3m minus 6. And after that, simplify your answer by adding like terms. Just m squared 2m minus 3m is -m minus 6. Very easy and very simple. Okay, question number 10. Sketch the graph of each function. When you sketch the graph, you have many methods to solve or to sketch the graph. I use this method. X, consider the coefficient of x is 1/1, x minus 3. Go to point -3 here, the y-intercept, and from this point, try to mark or draw a straight line with the gradient 1/1. One up, one right, like this, one up, one right, like this, and one up, one right. You will get the point 3 here. You have to mark, if you have a similar, you have to mark a point like this and use a calculator, use a ruler to sketch your line. Your line will pass through the point 3 on x-axis and -3 on y-axis. Thank you, that's it. Or you can form a table if you want for values x and y. You just insert any arbitrary points, 0, 1, 2, 3, any values, and calculate the corresponding values of 0 minus 3 is -3, 2 minus 3 is -1, and 3 minus 3 is 0, and take these order pairs and plot it on the Cartesian plane, you will get the same line. Y equals 1 over x, you know, this function is defined for every x except 0. 1 over 0 is undefined. Usually you can take values to the right of 0 like 1, 2, 3, and the values to the left will be a -1, -2, -3 also, and you will get two curves like this. Curve in the first quadrant and the similar one in the third quadrant. This is the 1 over x. It's pretty easy. You can solve it. Come now to transformation. Question number 11. I have now 4 shapes, A, B, C, D. The first question, describe fully a single transformation that maps shape A onto shape B. Shape A and shape B, look, this one is something rotation happened, but really the center, unfortunately, is not the origin, is not the 0. So for this reason, you try to look for the correct center of rotation by trial and error method. For example, consider one is a center of rotation. I check now, one, is it correct or incorrect? Consider two corresponding points, this angle and this angle, and this point. This point and this point are corresponding. So the vector from center of rotation to this point is, look, this is 2 right and 3 down. The vector here is 4 left and 1 down. This is different. So this point is incorrect. You have to try another point. Let me try the other point, for example, this one. And this vector now from 2, you try also the vector from the center of rotation to corresponding points. For example, this point if A, this point will be A prime, it's the image. So this vector now is 2 right and 4 down. Look, the vector now is 2 and -4. This is very vector, 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4. And this vector is 4 and -2. Look, -4 and 2. Yeah, the same vector, only the x and y, x is changed. This is really the center of rotation. This point now is equidistant from this point and equidistant from this point. So some rotation happened like this, you understand? This is the center of rotation now. So you just write a rotation, okay, with center 0 and 2, and 90 degrees, this direction is clockwise direction, okay? Clockwise direction, okay? This is the answer. So if the center of rotation is the origin point, it's easy. You can decide it quickly. If not, try any point, possible point, like the method I show you now, or I showed you. This is the center of rotation for question number A. Shape A into C, look. A into C, look what happened. From A to C, it looks like a reflection in this line. This is very famous, one type of reflection now. This line, I tell you also how I know that it's a reflection in the line y equals x. In the reflection, in any shape or any point in the line y equals x, each point x and y becomes y and x. Look, this point 2 and 0, its image here is 0 and 2. Look what happened. 2 and 0, look, 2 and 0 becomes 0 and 2. The same, look at this point, for example. This point is 6 and -2. Look, 6 and -2. The corresponding point here is -2 and 6. Look what happened. The x and y coordinate are switched. Look, the x becomes y and the y becomes x here. So this is really a reflection in the line y equal x. So go to the answer and write, it's a reflection in the line y equals to x. Shape A into shape D. Come to the graph again. A into D now is enlargement. Look, the shape, its size becomes smaller or bigger. Look. It's enlargement with a scale factor. A into D, this is the origin and this is the image. Okay. And this is the origin or original shape. To find the scale factor, divide this side by this side. The scale factor now is 1/2. Any two corresponding sides you can divide, no problem, but you have to start with the image over the original, not the opposite. And to assign the center of enlargement, you pick one point here and it's corresponding, okay? And draw a line, as you see. This line now. Select again any two corresponding points and draw a line. Okay. And select other 2 points like this corner and this corner, this corner and this corner, and also draw a line joining these 2 points like this. I try to make it accurate as much as I can. Okay. Of course, the 2 points are enough, or 2 lines. The points almost intersect in this point. So this point 4 and 5 is the center of enlargement. Okay. So just write enlargement with scale factor half with a center, or as the center of enlargement. I think I forgot. The center is, as you see, 4 and 5. 4 and 5. Okay. Try to draw an accurate line to intersect in a correct position or the correct point. And if you want to make sure, you can draw the third side, a third line here. Look, it lies on, I think this point may be incorrect. I think 4 and 6 is better here. This is center of enlargement. Okay. I'm sorry, this is this electronic ruler may be not accurate when I draw. If I draw this one, you get it. Yeah, this seemed to be, I'm sorry, 4 and 6 is better. Yeah, 4 and 6. 4 and 6 is better. Sorry. Using normal ruler and paper will be more accurate. So the point is 4 and 6. I'm sorry. The center of enlargement will be 4 and 6. Thank you. Question 12, the population of a town decreases exponentially at a rate of 1.7% per year. The population now is 250,000. Calculate the population at the end of 5 years. Give your answer to the nearest 100. So the population is multiplying the initial amount to 50,000 times, because it's decreasing by 1.5 will be 1 minus 1.7 over 100, which is 1.7%, all power, how many years? Power 5. So use this formula and calculate your answer for question number 12. And the answer will be okay. I can use a calculator now to solve this question. Okay. So 1 minus 0.017 equal this amount raised to a power of 5 times 250,000 equals, yeah, the amount is 229,460. Okay, when you round to the nearest 100 will be 229,500. 460 is about 500, and this is the number of population. Right, the recurring decimal 0.26 recurring as a fraction. You must work it out. You're working. Name the number x and write it. 0.26 recurring means many sixes to the without infinity. Just multiply this equation by 10. You will get 10x is equal to 2.6 recurring without end. Multiply it again by 10 will be 100x equals 26.666 and so on. Once you get two equations with the same recurring part, just subtract. This recurring part is the same, this recurring part. So 100 minus 10 is 90. Of course, you subtract this way, no problem. The bigger minus smaller to avoid getting a negative value. 26 minus 2 is 24. So simply dividing each side by 90. So you have x 24 over 90. And you can simplify dividing by 3 up and down. You can get 8 over 30. Okay, this is the value, and you can check your answer by dividing 8 by 30. You'll get a decimal number the same as mentioned above, 0.26 recurring. So the fraction is 8 over 30. This is the figure. The box and whisker plot gives information about the height in centimeter of some plants. Write down the median. The median is this number, the middle value. The middle value between 11 and 12 is 11.5. Find the range. The range is the maximum value minus minimum value, minus maximum point minus minimum point. The maximum point is 14 minus the minimum value here is 2. The answer is 12. The interquartile range is Q3, upper quartile minus lower quartile. The upper quartile is the midpoint between 13 and 14, 13 and a half, minus the lower quartile here is 5. The answer is 8.5. Simply very easy question, this one. I have now one question on circle theorem. ABCD lie on a circle, BCQ is a tangent to the circle at C, angle ACQ is 64. Work out the angle ABC giving your answer. So look, this angle is called the angle of tangency. It's a measure equal the measure of the inscribed angle subtended by the same arc. So 64 equals 64. So just measure of angle, you can start with writing measure of angle D is equal to measure of angle ACQ. Each of them is 64. Okay, this is the theorem of angle of tangency theorem. And if you look at the cyclic quadrilateral ABCD, you know that each opposite angles in the cyclic quadrilateral, you can add up to be 180, or they are supplementary angles. So the measure of the angle ABC now is 180 minus 64. 10 minus 4 is 6, and 7 minus 116, since a measure of angle B plus a measure of angle D is equal to 180. Or you can write it the sum of the opposite angle in the cyclic quadrilateral add up to 180, like something like that, or the sum is 180. Oh, that's it. This is the reason. So the angle I want to calculate is 116, angle ABC. Solve simultaneous equation. You have linear and one quadratic. You use substitution method from the linear to quadratic. So instead of x in the second equation, just write 7 minus 3y, okay, all squared, minus y squared is equal to 39. Squaring this value, you'll get 49, minus 2 times 3, 6 times 7, 42y, plus 3y squared is 9y squared, minus y squared, the minus 39 is equal to 0. So you have 8y squared, okay, 9y squared minus y squared, and minus 42y, okay, and 49 minus 39 is 10, simply 10, yes, is equal to 0. Divide all the equation by 2, you will get 4y squared minus 21y plus 5 is equal to 0. Try to simplify now. 4y times y, the 5 can be mentioned as 5 times 1, couldn't be factored, sorry. So I make this negative 5 times negative 1 to be positive 5, and the middle term will be negative 21, as you see. The middle term now is negative 1x, and the extremes is negative 20x. The sum is, sorry, I have y. The sum is negative 21y, is okay. The middle term is correct. So you will get the value, or write the value of each value of y you get now. The y from the first bracket is 1 over 4, or the other y is 5. So the two of y's now is 1 over 4 and 5. The corresponding value of x, if you want to find it, go back to the original equation. The x equals 7 minus 3y, and find the x. Now put y is 1 over 4, 7 minus 3 over 4 now is 6 and 1 over 4. Just write it here, 6 and 1 over 4. And the other value, x equals 7 minus 3 times the other y is 5. 7 minus 3 times 5, 15. The answer is negative 8. Thank you. This is the answer. Okay. Step by step, you can solve it. A is a point 3 and 5, B is a point 1 and negative 7. Find the equation of the line perpendicular to A and B. First of all, you have to find the slope of AB line. The slope of AB, as you know, is a difference in y over difference in x for any 2 points, x and y. So 5 minus negative 7, 5 minus negative 7 over 3 minus 1 is 12 over 2 is equal to 6. So slope of perpendicular line is negative 1 over 6. So the equation, you have a point already. This perpendicular line, look, to AB pass through A, the point A here. So the point given with this slope now is 3 and 5. So you can use this point to slope formula, y minus y1, 5 is equal to the slope negative 1 over 6 into x minus x1, that is 3. So y is equal to negative 1 over 6x plus 3 over 6, which is half, plus 5. So y is negative 1 over 6x plus, if you add half and 5, you can write 5 and half, simply. So this is the equation. Y equals negative 1 over, negative 1 over 6x plus 5 and half. If you want to write it at the mixed number, 11 over 2, it's okay. Question number 18, a car travels at a constant speed. It travels a distance 146.2 meters corrected to 1 decimal place. This takes 7 seconds corrected to the nearest second. Calculate the upper bound of the speed. As you know, the speed is a distance covered over the time taken. To make the speed the upper bound, you just take the upper bound, I want the upper, you take the upper bound of distance and lower bound of the time. So the upper bound of a distance, this distance is measured to the nearest 1 decimal place. The upper bound is 146.25. And the lower bound of the time, 7 seconds to the nearest second, is 6.5. And only divide these two values and write the answer here. Very simple. Okay. And the next question in number 19, I want to solve on the one diagram sketch the curve y equal cosine and the x from 0 to 360. You just take values of the x step, the values for the cosine function. You just start with 0 and then 90, multiples of 90, 180, and after that 270 and so on. By using a calculator, you can find cosine 0 is 1. Cosine 90 is 0, 180 is negative 1, the 270 is 0 again, and finally the 360 is a cosine is also 1. So 0 and 1 you have ordered pair now, 90 and 0, 180 and negative 1 here, 270 and 0, and 360 and 1. Simply go to the curve and by using your hand, draw a smooth curve. Pass through these points, okay? This is the curve of the cosine function from 0 to 360 exactly, something like that, okay? Solve the equation for cosine x plus 2 is equal to 30 in the range of x between 0 and 360. Very simple here. Just write the equation for cosine x plus 2 is equal to 3, just minus 2 minus 2. So 4 cosine x is equal to 1. So cosine x is equal to 1 over 4. So the x itself is cosine inverse of 1 over 4. Okay? By using a calculator, you just be sure that you're calculating is a degrees mode and press shift to cosine to, you can see cosine power negative 1. And write 1 divided by 4 inside and close the bracket, you will get 75, about 0.5 degrees. The cosine, I want the answer in the range in the domain 0 to 360. So the cosine, as you know, is a positive. The cosine positive in the first and fourth quadrant. So you will write 75 in the fourth by writing 360 minus 75.5. So the answer, one of the values of x, 75.5, okay? And the other one, 360 minus this value, you will get 284.5. 284.5. This is the answer. And this equation, x squared minus 12x plus a is x plus b all squared. Find the value of a. So I want the value of a that makes this trinomial as a complete square. This value simply is a half this number squared. 12 divided by 2 all squared. This is the value. So 12 divided by 2 is negative 6. All squared will be 36. So the a must be 36. Why 36? If you try to write it x squared minus 12x plus 36 and try to factor it, you will get a binomial times itself. The x squared is x times x. The 36 can be written as a negative 6 times negative 6. The middle term now is correct. Negative 6 and negative 6 will be negative 12. So the answer really is x minus 6 all squared. Okay? So the b is negative 6, as you see. Look. This is a b. Look, this is a b, negative 6. And the a, as I said, is 36. There's not only the way to solve this question. We have many ways. This is only one of the ways. I don't want to talk too much in one question. XY vector 3a plus 2b and zy vector is 6a plus 4b. Write down two statements about the relationship between the points x, y, and z. First of all, the vector zy is 6a plus 4b. Simply, you can take two common factor to see the remaining amount inside 3a plus 2b. But 3a, this vector, plus 2b is the other vector. I can remove it or exchange it and write instead of it the vector xy. Now the sentence starts here. The vector zy is equal to the vector xy. And as you know, if you have a vector is a scalar amount times the other vector, it means these vectors are parallel. Zy vector is parallel to xy vector. But consider zy like this, this vector zy, okay? And the xy, look, xy is the same. Xy, for example, x here. Xy is the same vector, this x. So really these two vectors not only parallel, the points x, y, and z are collinear now. The points, since point y lies on both parallel vectors or lines, then the points x, y, and z are collinear. And collinear means the points are on the same straight line. Thank you so much. This is the end of our exam today. Thank you. Goodbye.